Welcome to chapter 3 of why I chose to live in Ho Chi Minh City. It's getting good. Chapters 1 and 2 you should have finished by now. Chapter 3 is another exciting episode. It tells the story of how I made it from my home in Australia here to Ho Chi Minh City, where I've lived for 13 years. Hope you enjoy, guys. Enjoy. Bye-bye. Chapter 3, Arriving in Vietnam. I still don't believe the sequence of events that had me walking out into the airport in Ho Chi Minh City in August 2012. Matthew, my eldest son, was having a difficult time. I was off the scale inside my own issues. I'd broken up with a girlfriend and was living in a caravan park. My job was close to the end of its tenure, and I was on a downward slide. This only added to the drama of a bitter feud that had gone on for some 5 years with my ex-wife, the mother of my 3 children. Even my own family had, in some part, turned away from me, not to mention the awful treatment from people I thought were lifetime school friends. Home life for Matthew was not good. He was struggling with the choices of his mother and was reacting to her aggressive nature in regards to me and the resetting of her life. As a result, my son had entered a sphere where his mental health was not normal for a kid of 14. I took Matthew to see the doctor, and we got the strangest diagnosis. The doctor said, "Take your son on a holiday and give him a break from his environment." So I did, and this was the start of my pilgrimage to visit the place I had been dreaming about since I was a child. Just 2 weeks and 2 days later, we stood at the check-in counter at Sydney Airport with tickets on Vietnam Airlines flight VN 773 to Tan Son Nhat Airport in Ho Chi Minh City. Fear and excitement filled my mind and heart as the plane began its descent into Tan Son Nhat. I could not believe I was actually looking out the window at the city I had dreamed about in bed late at night for some 40 years. But I was also afraid. What if it is not the place I dreamed of? What if I don't like it? My heart was on the line, and I was about to discover the truth about Ho Chi Minh City and my past. My wisdom recalled that saying, "You can't find a new shore until you lose sight of the old one." And for the first time, I had placed everything in my heart and soul inside that ticket as the plane descended into Saigon. We quickly got a reality check when I found the challenges of immigration and visa issuing. Vietnam was not a particularly welcoming country in 2012, and I was struggling to understand a foreign process in a foreign land. But with a little arrogance and a can-do attitude, we got through it and eventually got to the baggage collection. As I exited the airport, my life instantly changed. The memory that I'll forever take with me of Ho Chi Minh City was my very first experience. As I exited Tan Son Nhat, the bustle of people and the heat took me by surprise. For a moment, I stood in shock and awe. I had reached the front door of the memories and dreams that had held me and crushed me for all these years. Then I turned my eyes up to see an amazing woman in a sky blue alzay and a non-la walk from left to right in front of the crowd. As she walked within a few metres of me, her head gently lifted and her eyes appeared from under the hat. Whilst graciously strolling along the path, her eyes met mine, and her face ever so gently lifted as she smiled at me, as if to say, "Welcome to Ho Chi Minh City." I stood frozen in time as I watched this woman, who looked like an angel, take a moment to acknowledge me. But this was not to be the only highlight of my time in Ho Chi Minh City. The traffic brought the next sense of awe and amazement. As our taxi left the airport, my son whispered gently, "Oh my God." I turned to look down the main road at the plethora of motorbikes, all jostling for a position on the road. There was no order and no system, as these motorbikes ran along footpaths and down the street the wrong way. No words can ever describe your first sight of Ho Chi Minh City traffic.